We go now to our next question from Aruna Madhavi Devidasi in Gurgaon, India. How can I worship Giriraj? I don't have Giriraj Vigraha. My recommendation is ask your spiritual master, and if he gives his permission, very often Giriraj somehow comes. I know of one devotee here in Germany who very much wished to worship a Giriraj Shila. But he also knew that for this step, the blessings and permission of a great devotee, his spiritual master, is required. So he asked him, and within, I believe, months, Giriraj came to him. So this is the method to get a Giriraj Vigraha. Or if your spiritual master thinks that it is good to wait a little bit longer so that you have time to qualify yourself more, then the instructions of your spiritual master will help you to not commit a mistake for which both Giriraj and you will suffer. So in both cases, either getting a permission or being told to wait still, it is certainly in your advantage. The next question comes from Akash in Calcutta, India. How to keep our spiritual practices strong when God seems to remain silent? Think that he is testing you whether you are sincere. He's just there. He's listening to you, he's hearing you, but he may choose to wait to see whether or not you're really sincere. There's a saying in Vrindavan about Giriraj that when someone goes on Giriraj Parikrama, Giriraj goes behind them and listens to their prayers. And he thinks, oh, let me see if next year this devotee comes and has the same prayers. So, say the devotee comes next year and does say the same prayers while he circumambulates Giriraj. Then Giriraj still thinks, let me not immediately respond, but let me see whether or not this devotee is sincere. And then when the Lord, when Giriraj thinks now is the time to answer, he will answer. Now, to help you survive, to help you to maintain your spiritual enthusiasm, it's good to think that Giriraj is there, or Krishna is there, listening to my prayers. I apply this method in chanting the holy names. There are sometimes periods in the chanting where I do not feel so inspired. When I catch myself going dry, I always tell myself the holy name is Radha and Krishna. They are there, they are listening, and they want to see whether or not I'm serious. And then I, with this idea that the Lord is just there listening next to me, I usually can overcome dryness and chant in an inspired way, and then soon I feel something of the Lord's presence. Maybe answers come that I could not think of on my own, or the feeling of being loved by the Lord, and that the Lord is very is satisfied that I'm doing this. All these things can tell me, yes, the Lord is there in some ways. So the next question comes from one Arundhati Devidasi in Gurgaon, India. We are so self-centered to the extent, Maharaj, that we desire Krishna's mercy for ourselves, and we don't think what Krishna wants from us. How can we not keep ourselves in the center? How can we make only Krishna as our center? There is a very simple and very effective method to cure us from self-centeredness. It is preaching. When you share Krishna consciousness with others, you will, after some time, think of others. You will think, I hope everything goes well for this person. You might even pray to others for the well-being of another person. And really, there is no way that is more effective to cure self-centeredness than preaching, because you have to leave your own desires, your own concerns, your own little world, and try to understand the situation in which the other person is. And already this trying to understand so that you find the right words, this attempt to understand the other person and to help the other person will bring you out of self-centeredness. So try in some ways to preach. It's not very difficult. For every single person, in every life situations, there are opportunities to share Krishna consciousness. It can be that you prepare some nice dishes, offer them to Krishna, and then distribute them to even your neighbors. It can mean to give transcendental literature. It can mean to answer questions which they have. Try to find ways and means, and if you feel you still would like to have some inspirations how to preach in your situation, talk to the devotees in the temple. They have many ideas. You could now also invite people over to your home and tell them about your experiences in Krishna consciousness. There are millions of ways. The next question is from Pratik Agarwal in Surat, India. He asks, after coming to Krishna consciousness, I sometimes feel spiritual envy. I feel jealous of devotees who have more association with pure devotees than I have. I feel jealous of devotees living in the Dham, of devotees who serve their spiritual master personally. How can I rectify this envy for betterment in my spiritual life? There is one very effective way against envy. Put Krishna in the center. We become envious of others when we ourselves and our desires are placed in the center of our attention. But by simply putting Krishna into the center, everything changes. For instance, when you see someone excelling in their service to Krishna, when you have Krishna in the center of your attention, you will feel, oh, nice! Krishna is served so nicely. wonderful. You're pleased when Krishna is pleased. Like someone is maybe pleased when their best friend has a rise in the job, or gets more attention or more opportunities to serve and so on. You feel pleasure for someone when you put yourself out of the center and put another into the center. The best other is God. The best other is Krishna. Then the envy will go.